Good morning, dear students. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and the subject today we are studying is Cambridge O Levels Mathematics Syllabus D. We also call this subject DMaths 4024. This is O Levels Mathematics. Today we have set our hearts to solve a paper 2 of this subject. And for this purpose, we have selected October-November 2023 2 paper. This paper 2 belongs from the Zone 2, and in this video, I am going to present to you the solution of this paper. So let's start this video. And here we go. The paper is showing up on your screen. This is October-November 2023 2 paper. The time allowed for this paper is 2 hours and 30 minutes. The scientific calculator is allowed in this paper. The total marks for this paper are 100. So we will try to present to you the solution according to the best of my knowledge, my abilities, and my understandings. Okay, so on your screen, the question number 1 is showing up. He says in the A part, Adris repair computers. This is how he calculates the charge of a repair. $56 for the first hour, and then $12.25 for each additional 15 minutes. Work out the amount Adris charges for a repair that takes him 2 hours. Okay, so for the first hour, he will take $56. And for the second hour, in second hour, for every 15 minutes, he is going to charge you $12.25. So there are 15 minutes in 1 hour. So very easily you can calculate, and on your screen the solution is showing up. 56 plus 4 multiply 12.25. So it will be 56 plus 49, that is $105. $105 is the right answer, sir. Why I am bringing this to 4? Because in the second hour, there are 4 periods of 15 minutes. Each 15 minutes, he will cost you $12.25. So this is the solution. I hope you understand. Question number 1A and its second part. He says, Adris charges $166.25 for another repair. He starts work on the repair at 2:30 a.m. Find the time when he completes the repair. Okay, so out of 166.25, $56 are for the first hour, and then for every 15 minutes, he will be taking $12.25. So suppose there are n number of 15-minute cycles. So the total money is 166.25. So the question will be 56 plus n times the 12.25. N means the number of periods of 15 minutes. So 12.25 n is equals to 166.25 minus 56. So n will be 110.25 divided by 12.25. So n is 9. So there are 9 periods, 9 cycles of 15 minutes each. So the total time for these cycles, 9 cycles, will be 15 multiply 9, and that will be 135 minutes. In 135 minutes, 120 minutes mean 2 hours, and the extra 15 minutes, 2 hours and 15 minutes, 135 minutes mean. So the total time he has taken is 3 hours and 15 minutes. 1 hour is the first hour, then 2 hours and 15 minutes. So the total time is 3 hours and 15 minutes. He started working at 2:30 p.m. and he will continue working for 3 hours and 15 minutes. So you add 2:30 p.m. and you add in it 3 hours and 15 minutes. So you will get 5:45 p.m. So he will finish his work at 5:45 p.m. 5:45 p.m. is the right answer, sir. This is how we will solve it. So question number 1, it's B part. He says Adris invests $6,200 in an account paying compound interest at a rate of 1.7% per year. Calculate the total amount of interest earned at the end of 4 years. Okay, so they are talking about the compound interest, and so that they are talking about the compound interest, and their question is how much is the interest at the end of the 4 years. This is the rate. This is the principal amount. So very simple, the formula for the compound interest is compounded amount, sorry, is P bracket start 1 plus R divided by 100 bracket close raised to power T. So the compounded amount will be the P value, the principal amount which they invested is 6,200, and the R value is 1.7, and the number of the cycles, the periods are 4, because here it is 1.7% per year. That's why the time should be taken in years. It is already in years. So in here, in the place of the T, I will put 4. Just enter these values in your calculator. In your calculator, you will write 6,200 bracket start 1 plus 1.7 divided by 100 bracket close raised to power 4 equals to, you will get $6,632.47. So the compound interest will be compounded amount minus the principal. So it will be $6,632.47 minus $6,200, and the answer will be $432.47. So they have earned an interest of $432.47. So the marking scheme is showing up on your screen. Question number 1B part, our answer is right. This is our solution, and I hope you understand this. Okay, so we are going to the next question. That is question number 1, and it's C part. It's a 3 marks question, and we have to give the answer in dollars. The exchange rate between the dollar and euro is $1 is equals to 0.84 euros. Adris buys some equipment from a website that charges in euros. The equipment cost 760 euro. Adris must pay 2.5% tax. So they are going to pay 2.5% tax. This is the money they have to pay. Work out the amount that Reese pays for the equipment, including the tax. Give your answer in dollars. So we have to find out how much money they have to pay. They have to basically pay $760, 760 pounds plus 2.5% on this cost. So a very simple, straightforward question we have here, and here you go. Let me reduce the size so you can see the whole thing. So the total payment in euros which they have to make is 760 plus 2.5% of the 760. This is the tax which has to be included. So when you add this in your calculator, you will get 779 euro. So then we have to convert this amount into the dollars, and dollar and euro. I'm going to use the method of proportion. So $1 is 0.84 euros. So 779 euros, how many dollars? So 1 by x is equal to 0.84 divided by 779. Just cross multiply and make x the subject of the formula. So x will be equal to 779 divided by 0.84. X will be equal to $927.38. Very simple. $927.38. So let's see. So that answer is right, sir. This is how you solve it. Okay, so we are on the question number 2. A part is first portion. He says the size of the one interior angle of a regular 15-sided polygon. Find the size of one interior angle of a regular polygon. This word is important. He says regular and 15-sided polygon. You know the formula for the internal angle of a regular polygon is internal angle is equals to 180 bracket start n minus 2 bracket close, and the whole thing divided by n. So let me show you. Okay, so here we go. This is the solution. The internal angle is equals to 180 bracket start n minus 2 bracket close, the whole thing divided by n. In the place of n, we will put the number of the sides of the polygon. So 180 bracket start, 15 minus 2 bracket close, the whole thing divided by 15, and the answer will be 156 degrees. 156 degrees is the right answer, sir. You can see in the marking scheme, our answer is right. This is the solution. And here we go. Question number 2. And he says that it's a 2 marks question. He says the diagram shows part of a regular 15-sided polygon. Find the value of the x. Okay, so this is a regular sided polygon, 15-sided polygon. So these are the sides of that polygon. So this side and this side will be equals to each other. So this triangle will become isosceles triangle. Why? Because its 2 sides are equal. If these 2 sides are equal, then it means this angle and this angle, they will be also equal to each other. They are the base angles of a isosceles triangle. So both these angles are same. So this angle is alpha. So this angle will be also alpha. And you know this angle will be how much? It is 1 and 50 and 6. And another very important thing is that this angle is also 156. So the strategy is this, that alpha plus 156 equals to 180. From here, I will get the value of the alpha. And from here, alpha plus x will be equals to 156 because this is also the internal angle of that regular polygon. And from there, I will find out the value of the x. It's how many? It's a 2 marks question. So very simple, straightforward question. And here we go. Okay. So alpha plus 156 is equals to 180. So 2 alpha equals to 180 minus 156, and the alpha will be equals to 24 divided by 2. Alpha angle will be 12. Alpha plus x is also 156 because this is the internal angle of the that 15-sided polygon. And so 12 plus x, alpha value is 12. So 12 plus x is equals to 156. So x will be equals to 156 minus 12. So x will be equals to 144. So the value of the x, this angle x, will be 144. I hope you understand. 144 is the right answer, sir. The marking scheme is showing up on your screen. This is how we have solved it. This is the question number 2 and A and second part. Okay. Question number 2 and its B part. He says A, B, C, and D are the points on the circle. Center O. AB is the diameter of the circle where the angle BAC is 24. Find the angle ADC. Give a reason for each step of your working. And it's a 4-mark question. The question is, what is this angle? The angle ADC. Usually very simple, straightforward. This is easy peasy. And let me change the color. Okay. Now you know this angle because this is the diameter, and when the ends of the diameter come to the circumference, this angle is 90 degree. Why this is 90 degree? Because this is, we call it the right angle in the semicircle. Okay, so if this is 90, this is 24, very easily I will be able to find out this angle. Okay, so 180 minus 24 minus 90, and you will be able to find the angle ABC. Once you know the angle ABC, look at this. ABCD is a cyclic quadrilateral. Some people call it cyclic quadrilateral. It's this quadrilateral is 4 vertices are on the circumference of the circle, and the sum of the opposite angles here is 180. We call it that the opposite angles in the opposite segment are supplementary. That means that the angle B and the angle D here, their sum will be equals to 180. So if once I know the angle B here, then I can calculate the angle D very simply. It's just not a big deal. So let me show you the whole question that's coming up on your screen. So let me show you the solution. Very simple, straightforward question. So okay, angle ACB is equals to the 90. The reason is the right angle in the semi circle. So let me increase the size so you can see it. Okay, angle ACB will be equals to 90 degrees. That's the right angle in the semicircle. Angle ABC is equals to 180 minus 24 minus 90. The reason is the sum of the internal angles of the triangle is 180. So the angle ABC will be equals to 66 degrees. Angle ADC plus the angle ABC will be equals to 180. The reason is that the angles in the opposite segment are supplementary. We know the value of the angle ABC is 66. So the angle ADC plus 66 is equals to 180. So the ADC angle will be equals to 180 minus 66, and that will be 114. So the angle ADC will be equals to 114. So 114 is the right answer, sir. 114 is the right answer. This is how we have solved it. And I will try to reduce the size so you can see the whole answer. So now the whole solution, the whole thing is showing up on your screen. I hope this will be helpful to you. You are able to understand it. Okay, so now we are going to the next question, and that is question number 3 coming up on your screen. He says, This is question 3A part. Laila asks a group of people what type of exercise they prefer. The results are shown in the pie chart. You know, the total angle in the pie chart is 360-degree because it's a circle. The other exercises, the 60-degree, the cycling is represented with the 90-degree, and the running is represented with the 135 degrees. For yoga, the angle is not given, but very easily we can tell the angle for the yoga. He says 90 people prefer running. So the number of exact people are given. 90 people prefer running. Calculate the total number of the people, Lela asks. So the total people are represented here with an angle of 360-degree. The running is represented with the 135 degrees. So I'm going to use the method of proportionality, and by the use of method of proportional, I will show you how this is solved. So I'm going to use angle and people. 135-degree means 90 people because the running is represented with 135 degrees. So 135 people means 90 people, 135-degree means 90 people. Then the total people, 360 degrees represents how many people? So 135 divided by 360 equals to 90 by x. So x will be equals to 90 multiplied 360 divided by 135, and that will be 240. So the total people in the survey in this sample were 240. This is the solution. Question number 3A and its second part. Work out the fraction of the group who prefer yoga. Write your answer in its simplest form. So we have to represent fraction for the yoga. Okay. So first of all, I will calculate how much is this angle for the yoga. Very simple. From 360, subtract 135, subtract 90, subtract 60. You will get the angle for the yoga, and the fraction will be the angle of the yoga divided by the total angle, that is 360. So the angle of the yoga is 360 minus 90 minus 60 minus 135, and that is 75 degrees. So the fraction the yoga represents of the people is 75 degree divided by 360 degree, and that will be 5 by 24. 5 by 24. 5 by 24 is the right answer, sir. This is the solution. Okay. So now we have the question number 3B part. Lela records the number of steps she walks each day for 60 days. The table shows the results. So here we have number of steps, and they are in thousand. That means 5,000 to 8,000, 9 days, 8,000 to 10,000 steps, 16 days, 10,000 to 12,000 steps, 14 days, 12,000 to 15,000 steps, 15 days, 15,000 to 20,000 days, 6 days. Their question is, what are they asking you? Complete the histogram to represent the data. Okay, so we have to complete this histogram, and you can see on the y-axis the frequency density is represented. On the x-axis the number of the steps in thousands is represented. So for example, here 5 mean 5,000, 11 mean 11,000, 16 means 16,000 steps. So first of all, I need to find out the frequency density. So if you want to find out the frequency density, so I need to find out two things. First, I need to find out the class width of each class. And how you find that, from this upper limit, subtract the lower limit. From this upper limit, subtract the lower limit. From this upper limit, subtract the lower limit, and you will get the class width. So once you know the class width, then divide the frequency with the class width, and that will give you the frequency density. Let me show you. I've done this. Okay, so the class width here, 8 minus 5, that's 3, 10 minus 8, that's 2, 12 minus 10, that's 2, 15 minus 12, that's 13, 20 minus 15, that's 5. So this is how you find the class width. Now the frequency density for the first class will be the frequency divided by the class width. So 9 divided by 3, that is 3, 16 divided by 2, that is 8, 14 divided by 2, that is 7, 15 divided by 3, that is 5, 6 divided by 5, that is 1.2. So now I am going to represent this with the help of the, okay. So here you can see I'm going to represent this from 8, 5 to 8 is already done there. So 8 to 10, your frequency density is how much? Okay. So from 8 to 10, the frequency density is 8. So you can see this day from 10 to 12, the frequency density is 7. You can see I have represented this bar. And from 12 to 15, the frequency density is 5. From 15 to 20, the frequency density is 1.2. So this is how you will make the histogram. I hope you have good practice on this, how to make these histograms. You can pause the video and you can take your time with this. And let me increase the size so you can see this is how this is made. So hopefully now you understand this. Okay, the next question they are asking is the second part. Lela has a target of 11,000 steps every day. Find an estimate for the percentage of these 60 days that Lela met her target. So this Lela has a target of 11,000 steps. Okay. So 11,000 steps means it has not written here. When you take 12,000 steps, you have completed this 11,000 target step. The day you have completed 18,000 steps, you have completed this target. So 11,000 mean that 11,000 and more steps. Okay. So from my histogram, you can see this is the 11,000. So I will check how much is the people who took how many days she took more steps than 11,000. So I will take this portion, this portion, this portion, and all these shaded portions. She has taken more than 11,000 or 11,000 steps. So she has completed the. So how you find the number of days? You find the area of this, you find the area of this rectangle, you find the area of this histogram bar, and you add them up, and that is how it is done. So this is basically 1 multiply 7, this is 3 multiply 5, and this is 5 multiply 1.2. So this is how you do from the graph, then you come here. So 1 multiply 7 plus 3 multiply 5 plus 5 multiply 1.2. The area of those bars represents the number of days. That area of those bars represents the frequency actually. So 7 plus 15 plus 6, that's 28 days. So we have to convert that into the percentage. So it is, okay, so 28 days, okay. And then we have to convert it into the percentage. So how you will convert this into the percentage? Let me show you. I have, okay, let me bring it here. So I will write 28 divided by the total number of the days. They have how many? Total number of days were 60 days. Okay. So divided by the 60 and then you multiply it with the 100. Okay. So your answer will be how much? Let me check on the calculator. And the calculator, I have take out the calculator. Okay. So calculator 28 divided by, so we will have 28 divided by the 60 multiply 100, and the answer is 46.67. 46.67. 46. Sorry, there was something happened with the internet. That's why the recording stopped. And so 46 the percent. Okay. So this is the answer, and I hope you understand. So when I wrote the solution, I by mistake wrote 28 only. So that is 46.67%. So I hope you understand this. So the answer is 46.67%. 46.67%. So I hope you understand. Uh, Okay, so we are going to the next question. The next question is a 2 marks question. Question number 4, A part. It's A part is of 2 marks. He says solve. Solve means to find the value of the variable. So we have to find out the value of that variable. So he says, 5x plus 6 is equals to 3x. We have to find the value of the x. So with the terms which have x, bring them onto the same side and then make the x alone. And here we go. So 5x minus 3x is equals to minus 6, and the 2x equals to minus 6, x equals to minus 6 by 2, and x will be equals to minus 3. So the value of the x is minus 3. The value of the x is minus 3. Okay, question number 4 is B part. The mass of a plum is n grams. The mass of an apple is twice the mass of the plum. So it's basically 2n. And then he says the mass of the banana is 50 grams, more than the mass of the apple. So this is 2n and plus 50. So very simple. This is n. The mass of the plum is n. They say the total mass of the plum, the apple, and the banana is 450 grams. Form an equation in n and solve it to find the mass of the plum. It's a 3 marks question, and you simply have to add these 3 and equals to 450. So very simple question. So the plum is n grams, apple is 2n grams, banana is 2n plus 50 grams. So the apple plus the plum plus the apple plus the banana is equals to 450 gram. So n plus 2n plus 2n plus 50 is equals to 450 gram. So 5n is equals to 450 minus 50. So the 5n will be equals to 400. So n will be equals to 400 divided by 5, and n will be equals to 80. So their question is, what is the mass of the plum? The mass of the plum was n. That n value is 80. So the answer is 80 gram. 80 is the right answer, you can see in the marking scheme. This is the solution, and very simple, straightforward question. Question number 4 is C part. He says solve by factorization. So here quadratic expression is given. We have to solve it by the factorization. So what I will do, I will multiply these extreme terms. So I will get 27. I'm going to use midterm breaking. So when I multiply the extreme terms, I get 21. So 21x squared, and I will write down the factors which give 21. So 1 multiplied 21, that gives you 21. 3 multiplied 7 give you 21. Here with the third term, you can see we have a negative sign. So I write here subtract. So I'm going to choose that pair from the factors which by subtraction will give me minus 4. So 3 and 7 is that pair. When you subtract them, you get 4. So with the larger number, I will write negative because I want minus 4 here. And with the smaller number, I will write positive. So you will write x squared plus 3x minus 7x minus 21 is equal to 0. This is midterm breaking. So from the first 2 terms, you can see the x is common, and from the last 2 terms, minus 7 is common. So you will have x bracket start x plus 3 minus 7 bracket start x plus 3 bracket close equals to 0. Now you can see this bracket x plus 3 is common from these 2 terms. So I will take that bracket common. So from here, I will have x. From here, I will have minus 7. And these 2 brackets are multiplying. Their answer is 0. So either the first bracket is 0 or the second bracket is 0. I will make them 0. X plus 3 is equal to 0. So x will be equals to minus 3. And x minus 7 can be 0 because you multiply 2 things and the answer is 0. So either the first is 0 or the second is 0 or both of them are 0. So x minus 7 is 0. So x will be equal to 7. So the answer is minus 3 and 7. The x has 2 values, minus 3 and 7. And hopefully, look at the marking scheme, sir, and our answers are right. So you can pause the video if you want to take more time with the marking scheme. This is how we have solved it. Hopefully you understand. Okay, so we are going to the next question. That is question number 5. A part. A bag contains 40 balls. 28 of the balls are red and the rest are green. Aisha takes a ball from the bag at random, notes its color, and replaces it. They put the bag back the ball. Find the probability that this ball is green. So if there are total 40 balls, 28 balls are red, then green balls are 12, 40 minus 28. So the red balls are 28, the green balls are 40 minus 28, they are 12 balls. Probability of getting the green ball is number of green balls divided by the total balls, 12 divided by 40. So if you simplify, then it's 3 by 10 or 12 by 40 is the answer, sir. Our answer is right. This is the solution. And here we go. Question number 5A part is second portion. Aisha repeats this 200 times. Work out the number of the times she expects to take a green ball. So out of 40, 12 times is the she can take the green ball. So out of 200, how many times is this is possible? So 12 by 40 multiplied 200, and that is 60. So if she do it uh, 60 times, 200 times, then it will, there's a possibility is that she will do this. Okay, so the 60 is the answer. Okay, so our answer is right. Okay, so we have question number 5. It's B part. He says a bag contains 9 blue balls and 7 yellow balls. Sergio takes 2 balls from the bag at random without replacement. So now they are going without replacement. This word is very important, very, very important. Without replacement. So he says complete the tree diagram. So here we have, so blue balls, the chances are 9 by 16 at the first position. And at the first position, yellow balls chances are 7 by 16. So let me show you, I have done this. Okay. So okay, so the blue ball, the chances are 9 by 16. At the first position, the yellow ball's chances will be 7 by 16. Now, one blue ball is already out. Now, the total will decrease. The number of blue balls will also decrease, but the yellow balls will remain the same. If a blue ball is out, getting a blue ball again is 8 by 15, and getting a yellow ball will be 7 by 15. If a yellow ball is out at the first position, then the total will decrease by 1, the number of yellow balls will decrease by 1, but the number of the blue balls will remain the same. So, unfortunately, internet again. Okay, so we were talking about this, and hopefully, there was a problem with the internet. That's why the recording stopped. I'm recording it on Zoom. Okay, so getting a yellow ball on the second position, if a yellow ball is already out, will be 6 by 15. So this is how you will do this. Let's check the marking scheme. And our answers are right. You can see that. Okay, this is how this is done. Now we are going to the next part. He says, find the probability that the two balls are the same color. The two balls are of the same color. It's a 2 marks question. So that they are talking about blue, comma blue, or yellow, comma yellow. So both. So I will try to find out the probability of the blue, comma blue, plus the probability of the yellow, comma yellow. They represents an event in which you will have the two balls of the same color. So getting the blue ball, and that is 9 by 16 multiply 8 by 15, blue, comma blue, that's the probability. And getting yellow, comma yellow, that is 7 by 16 multiply 6 by 15. So you will have 72 divided by 240 plus 42 divided by 240, and that is 114 divided by 240, and that is 19 by 40. So the final answer will be 19 by 40, and our answer is right. The marking scheme is showing up. This is how we solved it. And that is right, sir. You can pause the video if you want more time with this. So now we are going to the next question, and the next question coming up on your screen is question number 6. Question number 6 is A, first part, complete the table for an equation is given, y is equals to 4 raised to power x, the whole thing divided by 10. And here a table is given. He says complete the table. So when the x is 0, the value of the y is not given. So I will substitute the x with the 0. And let me show you. So here, 4 raised to power 0, that is 1. And so 1 divided by 10, that is 0.1. So that value comes here is 0.1. 0.1. Our answer is right. This is the marking scheme, and this is how this is done. This is A, first part. Okay, now he says draw this graph. So we have to draw this graph. Here on the x-axis, the x values are represented. Here on the y-axis, the values of the y are represented already. It has been graduated. And we have to plot these points 0, comma 0.1, 0.5, comma 0.2, 1, comma 0.4, 1.5, comma 0.8, 2, comma 1.6, 2.5, comma 3.2, 3, comma 6.4. So you simply have to plot these points on this graph. So at 0, you have 0.1, at 0.5, you have these values 0.2, and you just simply need to plot these points, and you can see I have plotted these points, and then after plotting these points, you join them with a curve. So you will get this curve. So this is showing up on your screen. You can also, if you have a hard copy of this paper, you can also plot these points. Otherwise, very simple. We have plotted these points. This is the x value, this is the y coordinate, and we have plotted at 3, you have 6.4, at 3, you have 6.4. So just join them with a curve. Okay, then what they say? They say use your graph to use your graph to solve this equation. Okay, so here 4 raised to power x divided by 10 is equals to 10. You can see this is the main curve whose graph is already there. So this, I will write it, this is y equals to 5. So I will draw this line, y equals to 5. So y equals to 5 is a horizontal line, okay? So you can see here, I have done this. So this left side is actually that main curve whose graph is already drawn there. Whatever is the right side, we make it equals to the y. So y equals to 5. So then we will draw this line on the graph. Y equals to 5 is a horizontal line. You can see this red line, y equals to 5. I've drawn this red line. So when it cuts this graph, wherever it cuts that main curve, that I note down its coordinates 2.8, comma 5. The value of the x of this point is the solution of that equation. So that the solution of that equation is 2.8. From where it is coming 2.8? From this point, where y equals to 5 intersects with the 4 raised to power x divided by 10. The graphs where intersect each other, I'm noting down its x coordinate, 2.8. That is my approximately 2.8. Reading their graph at the y equals to 5. So whatever is our point of intersection, its x value. So we are talking about this point, okay? Then they say by drawing a tangent, estimate the gradient of the y equals to 4 raised to power x by 10 when the x is equals to 2. So I have to draw a tangent. So basically, I have to draw a tangent where the value of the x is 2. So at this point, I have drawn this tangent. Tangent is basically a line which touch that curve only on that point. So approximately this is the tangent. You can see it is touching this curve only at when the x is equals to 2. Then this is how you draw that tangent, and then we have to find the gradient. So I will take 2 points on this tangent. I have taken this point. This is 3, 3.9. I have taken this point. This is 1.5, 0.5. So you can see I have taken 2 points on the tangent. And then by applying the formula for the gradient, I will find out the gradient. So here you can see I have taken the 2 points on the tangent. One point is 1.5 comma 0.5. The other point I have taken on the tangent line is 3 comma 3.9. Then I will apply the formula for the gradient. The formula for the gradient is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, and that, so I will substitute the values. So 3.9 minus 0.5 divided by 3 minus 1.5. So that will be equal to 3.4 divided by 1.5, and that is 2.3. So the gradient here of the tangent is 2.3. So whatever is the gradient of the tangent, same is the gradient of your curve there. So they say from 1.7 to 2.5, our answer is 2.3, which is in that range. So this answer is correct. I hope you understand this, that we have drawn this tangent, and after drawing this tangent, we have taken 2 points on that tangent, and that by using the coordinates of those 2 points, we have found the gradient. Okay, so now we have this question. It's a question number. This is question number 6, and it's B part. So here we have question number 6 is B part. He said this is a sketch of the graph of y is equals to x square plus ax plus b. So find the value of the a and the value of the b. Okay. So here you have a parabola. This is the graph of a quadratic equation, and its x-intercepts are given here. One x-intercept is 2, the other x-intercept is 5. So that means x equals to 2, so x minus 2 is equals to 0. And we know the other x-intercept is 5, and that will be x equals to 5, so x minus 5 is equals to 0. And you can see this is the happy face, so the x squares coordinates must be positive. Coordinate, I say coefficient. So the x squares coefficient must be positive. So I will multiply these two with each other. Y equals to this, multiply this. And so you will have y is equal to x minus 2 into x minus 5. So y is equals to x squared minus 5x minus 2x plus 10. So the equation is y is equals to x squared minus 7x plus 10. So the value of the A is minus 7 and value of the B is 10. So hopefully you understand, and let me reduce the size so you can see the whole thing together. This is how this is done. It's a very famous question. So this is minus 7 and 10 is the answer, sir. You can see, look at the marking scheme. You can look at the marking scheme. Hopefully you understand. This is how it is done. This was a 3 marks question. Now we are going to the next question, and that is question number 7, and it's A part. So here we have a grid. On that grid, we have 2 points given. A point whose coordinates are minus 4, comma 1, and a B point whose coordinates are 1, comma 4. And he says point A and point B are shown on a centimeter square grid. First portion is ABC is a triangle, and the C point is not given here. He says here are 5 possible coordinates for C point are minus 2, comma 4, minus 2, comma minus 1, minus 1, comma minus 2, 6, comma 1, minus 4, comma 6. Pick the 2 coordinates from the list that make ABC an isosceles triangle. So I will plot these points. These are the possible points for the triangle C, and I have plotted those. This is that point, this is that point, this is one of the points, and this is another point. So we will plot them, and then I have only joined those points which make that triangle ABC an isosceles triangle. So at this point, which is minus 2, comma minus 1, I have shown you this triangle. You can see this side and this side, they are equal to each other. So they make that triangle ABC isosceles. And this point is also, if the C is here, then this ABC will be again an isosceles triangle, because this side and this side will be equal to each other. So they will make that triangle ABC. So this point and this point, they make that triangle isosceles. So the 2 possible values are minus 2 comma minus 1, and the other value is 6 comma 1. So we will put tick on them. If you try this as C, if you try this as C, or if you try this as C, it's a hit and trial method. So you will find that the two sides of the triangle formed will be not equal to each other. So it's a little tricky hit and trial kind of method. So we have to do that hit and trial. So these are the 2 points which make that triangle possible values for the coordinates of the C. They make that triangle isosceles. So let's check. So our answer is right. This is the solution. Hopefully you understand. Okay, so we are going to the next part. It says find the column vector AB. You know the position vector. The coordinates are basically given. The coordinates means that position vector. So the coordinates represents basically the position of vector. So they want me to find out the column vector AB. So OA plus AB will be equals to the OB. OA is minus 4, 1. OB is 1, 4. This is the formula for the position of vectors. OA plus AB is equals to OB. This is the famous formula for the position vectors. So the AB will be equals to 1, 4. And this column vector will go on the other side. It will subtract there. So you will have 1 minus, and this column vector. So 1 minus minus 4, that will be 5. 4 minus 1, that is 3. So the AB column vector will be 5, 3. 5, 3 is the right answer, sir. This is the solution of that. Okay, then he says A is the midpoint of the line DB. Find the magnitude of the DB. So if A is the midpoint of the line DB, so then we know the column vector of the AB. That means that the AB is half of the DB. Because the A is the midpoint of the DB, that means that the AB is half of the DB. So the DB vector will be 2 times AB. We know the column vector of the AB, that is 5, 3, column vector here. So the DB will be equals to 10, 6. So if you want to find out the magnitude of the DB, so you will have to take, you remember the formula for the taking the magnitude is x squared plus y squared and square root on all of them. So you will have 10 square plus 6 square and square root on them. So it's 100 plus 36. It's 136. When you take its square root, it is 11.66. So the dB magnitude will be 11.7. So this is how you find this. 11.7 is the right answer, sir. This is how we have solved it. Okay, then we have, he says the equation of line P is y is equals to 4x minus 3. The line L is perpendicular to the line P. The line L passes through the point 6, 4. Find the coordinates of the line, the point where the line L crosses the x-axis. It's a 4 marks question. And you know, the line P is given, its equation is given. I mean, we can find its gradient. Then I can, once I know the gradient of the line P, then I can find the gradient of the line L because that is perpendicular to the line P. So its gradient will be the negative and the reciprocal of the gradient of the line P. Once I know the gradient of the line L and I also know one point which is 6, 4 through which the line L passes, then I will find out the equation of the line L. Once I know the equation of the line L, then I can find the point where the line L crosses the x-axis. When the line crosses the x-axis, the value of the y will be 0. So here we go. This is a 4 marks question, and here you can see. Let me reduce the size of this. Okay, so the line P, its equation is given y is equals to 4x minus 3. When the y is alone on one side, the coefficient of the x represents the magnitude, the gradient. So the M1, the gradient of the line P is 4. The gradient of the line L, which is perpendicular to the line P, will be reciprocal of it, and it will be a negative, put a negative sign with it. So the M2 will be equals to minus 1 by 4. And this line L passes through the point 6, 4. So I can find the equation of the line L. Y minus y1 is equals to M bracket x minus x1. That's the formula we use to find the coin of a line. So y minus y1 is 4 and the x1 is 6 and the m is of the line L is minus 1 by 4. Just put those values there. Y minus 4 is equal to minus 1 by 4 into x minus 6. So take this 4 to the other side. So you will have 4y minus 16 equals to minus x plus 6. 4y will be equals to minus x plus 6 plus 16. So 4y will be equals to minus x plus 22. So now we know the equation of the line L. So we want to find out the point, the coordinates of that point when the line L crosses the x-axis. So, you know, when L crosses the x-axis, the y value will be 0 in the equation of the line L. Wherever is the y, you will substitute there it with the 0. So 4 into 0 is equals to minus x plus 22. So 0 is equals to minus x plus 22. X equals to 22. So the coordinates of that point where the line L crosses the x-axis will be 22, 0. 22, 0. And the marking scheme is showing up on your screen. 22, 0 is the right answer, sir. 22, 0 is this is the solution. 22, 0 is the right answer. Okay, so we are done with the question number 7. So now we are going to the next question. That is question number 8. Okay, so question number 8 is showing up on your screen. He says the diagram shows a small rectangle inside a large rectangle. The height of the large rectangle is x centimeter. The length of the large rectangle is 4 times its height. So that means this, the length of the larger rectangle is 4 times. So this is basically 4x. This outer length, this length is 4x. This length is also 4x. And he says the width of the shaded border is 3 centimeter. So 3 centimeter here, 3 centimeter here. So this sorry for the internet again. It's doing funny things. Okay, so this inner length will be 4x minus 6. Okay, this outer side length is 4x, so 3 here, 3 here. So this is 4x minus 6. This inner height is x minus 6. X minus 6. So then it says the area of the small rectangle is 80 centimeters square. The area of this is given. And he says form an equation in the x and show that it simplifies to 2x square minus 15x minus 22 equals to 0. So it's a 4 marks question. Okay. So the area of this inner rectangle is given, that is 80. So very simple. And I know the dimensions of the inner rectangle. The length is 4x minus 6. Its height is x minus 6. You know the area of the rectangle is length multiplied width, and you multiply them. X minus 6 into 4x minus 6, that will be equals to 80. So when you multiply these two brackets, you will get 4x squared minus 6x minus 24x plus 36 is equals to 80. So you will have 4x squared minus 30x plus 36 equals to 80. 4x squared minus 30x plus 36 minus 80 equals to 0. So you will have 4x squared minus 30x minus 44 equals to 0. Take 2 common from all of them. So 2 bracket, you will have 2x squared minus 15x minus 22 bracket close equal to 0. When this 2 will go to the other side, it will divide with the 0 and the answer will be 0. So you will have 2x squared minus 15x minus 22 equals to 0. So this was the equation which we have to show. And I hope you understand how we have done this. The area of this inner rectangle was given, that was 80. This is 4x minus 6. This is x minus 6. I multiplied them. So this you have to show. I hope you understand this. So we are going to the next part. Question number 8 is B part. It's a 3 marks question. He says solve this equation. 2x squared minus 15x minus 22 equals to 0. We have to solve it. Show your working and give your answer correct to 2 decimal places. So it's a 3 marks question, and here you will apply quadratic formula. The A value here is 2, the B value is minus 15, the C value is minus 22. So I'm going to apply the quadratic formula here. So you can see The quadratic formula is x is equals to minus b plus minus square root, and under the square root you have b square minus 4ac, and in the denominator you have 2a. Just substitute the value of the a, b, and the c here. So you will have minus bracket start minus 15 bracket close plus minus square root, and under the square root we will have the square of minus 15 minus 4 multiply 2 multiply minus 22, and in the denominator you will have 2 multiply 2. So you will have 15 plus minus under root 401 and the whole thing divided by 4. So now there are two possibilities. In one possibility, you will write 15 plus square root of the 401 divided by the 4. And in the other situation, the x value is 15 minus square root of the 401 and the whole thing divided by 4. When you enter them in your calculator, you will get 8.76 and the other value will be minus 1.26. So these are the two answers, 8.76 and sorry for the interruption again, the internet. Today something is happening with the internet. So we were on where? Okay, so this is how this is done. This is the marking scheme. Hopefully you understand. Okay, so we are going to question number 8 and it's C part. It says calculate the shaded area. So if you want to find out this shaded area, you know the value of the x now. I will take there were two values of the x. One was positive value, the other one was negative value. We will take the positive value because the height of the bigger rectangle is x, so this cannot be negative. Okay, so I will find out the first of all the length and the height of the bigger rectangle. Then I will find the length and the height of the smaller rectangle. I will find out the area of the bigger rectangle. Let me call it A1, and then I will find the area of the smaller rectangle. I will call it A2. And from the A1, I will subtract the A2, and that will give me the shaded area. So that is the strategy of doing this question, and that C part is of 2 marks. So let's do it. Okay. So the calculated shaded area will be equals to the area 1 minus the area 2. The big rectangle, its area will be x multiplied with the 4x. And the small rectangle, its area will be x minus 6 multiplied with the 4x minus 6. So just substitute the value of the x. The value we are going to use is this one, the positive value, that is 8.76. So 8.76 multiply 4 multiply 8.76 minus bracket start 8.76 minus 6 bracket close bracket start 4 multiply 8.76 minus 6 bracket close. So when you enter these values in your calculator, you will have 306.95 minus 2.76 multiplied 29.04. So it will be 306.95 minus 80.15. When you subtract them, you get 226.7996. That is approximately 227. So the shaded area is 227 centimeter square, approximately. 227 is the right answer, sir. You can see from the marking scheme, this is the marking scheme. And this is how this is done. I hope you understand. We are going to the next question. That is question number 9, and it's a part. Here he says ABCD is a rectangular field. So this is a rectangular field. All the internal angles here on the vertices is of 90 degree because it's a rectangle. Okay, ABCD is a rectangular field and C is due south of the A. So when this is A, this is C, this is exactly in the south of the A. Okay, AB is 450 meter, the BC is 210 meter. And the first part, question number 9, and it's A part. He says, Martha walks at an average speed of 5.2 kilometers per hour. Calculate the time Martha takes to walk once around the perimeter of the field. Give your answer correct to the nearest minute. Okay, so I know the length and the width of this rectangle. I can find out the perimeter of this rectangle. The perimeter is 2 length plus 2 width. Once I know the perimeter of this rectangle and I know I also know the speed, then I can find out the time. So 2 multiply 210 plus 2 multiply 450, and that is 420 plus 900. That's 1320 meter. Because this is in meter, the speed given to me is in kilometers per hour. So I will convert this into kilometers. How you do that? When you want to convert meters into kilometers, you divide it with 1000. So 1320 divided by 1000, it will be 1.320 kilometer. So the time will be equals to distance divided by speed. The distance is 1.32. You divide it with the speed given, that is 5.2 kilometer per hour. So you get the answer 0.254 hours. So because we want the time in minutes, the answer must be in minutes. So if you want to convert hours into minutes, you will have to multiply it with the 60. So 0.254 multiplies 60. So that will be 15.25 minutes approximately, because we have to give the answer to the nearest minute. So the answer will be 15 minutes. Hopefully you understand 15 minutes is the answer. This is the marking scheme of the question number 9A first part, and 15 minutes is the right answer, sir. This is my solution. Hopefully you understand. Okay, so question number 9A and its second part. Show that the bearing of the D from A is 245. Correct to the three significant figures. So basically they're asking to find the bearing of the D from A is 245. We have to show that. The bearing of the D from A. What does that sentence mean? D from A means that on the A you will draw north. It is already there. From that north, you go clockwise and you come to the AD line. So we have to tell how much is this angle. So if I join, uh, this is 450, this is 210, it's a right angle triangle. So when I join this with this, I can find out this angle, I can find out or this angle. This side is also 210, this is 450, this is also 90 degree. So I will try to find out this angle. The bearing from up to this point is 180, and in this I will add up this angle. That will give me the bearing of the D from A. Let me show you from here. So you know this is also 210, this is 450, this is a right angle triangle. I can easily find out this angle phi. This angle phi will be tan phi will be equals to tan is perpendicular by the base, that is 450 divided by 210. So I will find out this angle phi. From here to here, the bearing is 180, and once I know the phi, though, so from this bearing will be 180 plus phi. This is my strategy. I'm going to work on it. Okay, so the tan phi will be equals to the perpendicular by base, that's 450 divided by 210. So phi will be tan inverse of the 2.143, and that will be 64.98. So the phi angle is 65 degree approximately. The bearing of the D from A will be equal to 180 plus phi. So 180 plus 65, that is 245. So the bearing of the D from A is 245. 244.98 is approximately, here we rounded them off. So if you keep that same number, you get the same number. Approximately it is 245 degrees. 245 degrees. That is the right answer, sir. Okay, then we have the B part here. He says PQR. PQR is a triangle and S is a point on the PR. Okay. The PS is 10.3. This thing is 10.3. The QR is 12.6. And the QPS, that's 42 degrees. And the QRS, this angle is 35 degrees. Their first question is find the QS. This is QS. And you know how much marks this question has? It has 5 marks. So it's a 5 marks question. The strategy is simple. You know this angle, you know this angle. So in this big triangle, you can find out this angle. Okay. So the angle PQR can be found. That will be the angle PQR will be 180 minus 42 minus 35. Once you know this angle, then you can apply the law of sine, the sine rule. Opposite to this side, you have 42 angle, and opposite to this angle, you have PR. So I will, by using the sine rule, I will find out the value of the the length of the PR. Once I know the length of the PR, from the PR I will subtract the PS, and I will get this length SR. Once I know the SR, then I will come into this triangle, and in this triangle, I know these two sides and I know the angle between them. By applying the law of cosine, I will be able to find out the opposite side QS. So that's why this question has this part has 5 marks, because this involves so much calculations. So let me show you my working. So first of all, I will find this angle. Then after this, I will find out this PR. After PR, I will calculate SR. Once I know the SR and I know this side, I know this angle. Then by using the law of cosine, I will be able to find out the QS side. So here you can see the PQR angle will be equals to 180 minus 42 minus 35. The PQR angle will be equals to 103 degrees. Then I will apply on that big triangle the law of sine, the sine rule. PR divided by the sine 103 will be equals to 12.6 divided by sine 42. So the PR will be equals to 12.6 multiplied sine 103 and divided by sine 42. When you enter these values in your calculator, you will get 18.35. So the length of the PR is 18.35. From the PR, if you subtract the PS, you will get the SR. So the SR is equals to PR minus PS. The PR is 18.35 minus the PS, that is 10.3. You will get 8.05. So now you know that this value is 8.05. Once you know this value, you know this side, you know this angle. By using the law of cosine, you will be able to find out the QS. So now I will apply the law of cosine, or you can say cosine rule. The QS square will be equals to the SR square plus the QR square minus 2 multiply SR multiply QR multiply cos of the angle SRQ. Just substitute their values there. So you will have QS square will be equal to 8.05 square plus 12.6 square minus 2 into 8.05 multiply 12.6 multiply cos 35. And when you enter these values in a single click, you will get 57.389. Then take square root on both the sides. You will have QS as 7.57557. When you round it off, it is approximately 7.58. So the length QS is 7.58. It's a very important 7.58. 7.58. You can look at the marking scheme. The marking scheme is showing up on your screen. You can take your time. If you want to read this marking scheme, you can pause the video. You can take your time with this. This is my solution. Let me reduce the size so you can see the whole thing together. And here you go. So you can see this is a 5 marks part, and the calculation involved. First, we found an angle, then we use the sine rule, then we use the cosine rule. That's why it has 5 marks. Okay, so we are going to the question number 10. Question number 10A part. He says the volume of the cone is given by the formula 1 by 3 pi r square h. The curved surface area of the cone is given by pi r L. Here L stands for the slant height, the h stands for the vertical height of the cone, and the r stands for the radius of the cone. They say a solid is formed from a large cone with a small cone removed from the center. The small cone is mathematically similar to the large cone. The vertex of the large cone is vertically below the vertex of the small cone. The height of the large cone is 21 centimeter and the diameter of the top is 18 centimeter. The height of the small cone is 14 centimeter. They say show that the volume of the solid is 399 pi centimeter cube, and it's a 3 marks calculation. So let me tell you something. Okay, now because this smaller cone and that bigger cone, they both are similar to each other, the vertical height of both the cones is given. Whatever is the ratio of the vertical heights, the same is the ratio of their diameters. So I can find the diameter of the smaller cone also. Once I know their diameters, then I will find out the volume of the larger cone. Then I will find the volume of the smaller cone. From the volume of the larger cone, I will subtract the volume of the smaller cone, and that will give me the volume of that solid which the cone is made of. So here you see, because both the cones are similar to each other, so the ratio of the heights will be equal to the ratio of their diameters. So the 21 divided by 14 it will be equal to 18 divided by the D2. D2 means the diameter of the smaller cone. So the D2 will be equals to 18 multiplied 14 and divided by 21. So the D2 will be 12 centimeters. So that means the radius of the larger cone is 9 centimeter and the height of the larger cone is 21 centimeter. The radius of the smaller cone is 6 centimeter and the height of the smaller cone is 14 centimeter. The radius is the half of the diameter. So then I will apply that strategy that the volume of the solid is equals to the volume 1 minus the volume 2. So 1 by 3 pi r square, pi r1 square plus h1 minus 1 by 3 pi r2 square into h2. Simply substitute those values here. So don't substitute the value of the pi, keep the pi as pi, because then you have to show that the volume of the solid is equal to 399 pi. So it will be 1 by 3 into pi into 9 square into 21 minus 1 by 3 pi into 6 square into 14. So when you enter these values in your calculator, don't enter the value of the pi there. You will get 399. With it, write pi. So this is how this is done. Let me increase the size now. You can see the whole thing. Okay. So this is how this I have done. I hope you understand. This was to show. So we have shown the volume of the solid is this much. I hope you understand this. If you want to take time with this, you can pause the video. Okay, so I'm going to the next part, question number 10A and its second part. He says calculate the total surface area of the solid. It's a 6 marks question. Oh my God, this part is of 6 marks. Now, if you want to find out the total surface area of the solid, that solid has a ring on the top. The formula for the ring is pi r1 square minus pi r2 square. Then you have external curved surface, that is the curved surface of that larger cone, and you have inner curved surface, that is the curved surface of the smaller cone. If you want to find out the curved surfaces of the larger cone or the smaller cone, for both of them, you need to find out the slant height. The relation between the slant height of a cone, the radius, and the height is that the slant height is equals to the h square plus r square. L square is equals to the h square plus r square. That's the relationship between the slant height, the height, and the radius. L square is equals to h square plus r square. So I will find the slant height for the larger cone and I will find out the slant height for the smaller cone. For the larger cone, it will be the square root of, and another square root, we have 9 square plus 21 square, and the final answer will be 22.85. So the slant height for the larger cone is 22.85. So the slant height for the smaller cone will be square root, and under the square root, you have 6 square plus 14 square, and that will be 15.23. So then I will use this formula. This is the ring on the top. This is the external curved surface, which is the larger cone's curved surface. And this is the area, the inner surface of the cone. And that is basically the curved surface of the smaller cone. So simply substitute those values. And when you substitute those values, the R1 is 9, the R2 is 6, the L1 is 22.85, and the L2 is 15.2. Just substitute those values, and the final answer you will get, and I can show you, that will be 1074.52. So the surface area will be approximately 1075 centimeters square. 1075 centimeter square. 1075 centimeter square. So our answer is right. It's a 6 marks part. You can pause the video, you can take time. I hope you understand what I'm talking. Question number 10 is B part. He says the height of a cylinder is 13 centimeter, correct to the nearest centimeter. The radius of the base of the cylinder is 4.5 centimeter, correct to the nearest 0.1 centimeter. Calculate the upper bound of the volume in centimeter cube of the cylinder. It's the B part. And here we go. Let me show you. So the height given, it is correct to the 1 centimeter. So divide 1 centimeter with the 2, you get 0.5 centimeter. The upper bound of the height and the lower bound of the height you can find by adding into its main measurement 0.5 or subtracting from the main measurement 0.5. So the upper bound of the height will be 13.5 centimeter and the lower bound of the height will be 12.5 centimeter. In the same way, he says the radius is correct to 0.1 centimeter. So I will divide 0.1 centimeter with the 2, I will get 0.05 centimeter. If you add this into the radius, you will get the upper bound of the radius. If you subtract this from the radius, you will get the lower bound of the radius. So the upper bound of the radius will be 4.55 centimeter and the lower bound of the radius will be 4.45 centimeter. Their question is calculate the upper bound of the volume in centimeter cube. So the volume is pi r square h. So you want the upper bound of the volume. So because in this formula, the volume you get by multiplying the r square and the h with the pi. So because they all are multiplying with each other and you get the volume. So if you want the upper bound of the volume, the radius, its upper bound must be used and the height, its upper bound must be used here. So volume will be equals to pi here r square, so 4.55 square, and then the height's upper bound is 13.5. So just simply do this calculation, you will get the volume 878. 878. 878 is the right answer, sir. I hope you understand this. This is the marking scheme. This is how we have solved it. Hopefully you have a good grip on upper bound and lower bound. And in Pakistan, we study this by D3 mathematics for preparing for O levels. We are preparing it from those books which we call D1, D2, D3, D4. This is in the D3 and it's chapter 3, I think. Hopefully you understand upper bound, lower bound case. Okay, so we are going to the next part, and this is question number 11 now. Question number 11. It's a part. He says f of x is equals to 4x plus 1, g of x is equals to 2x minus 3. So this question is on functions. The first part is, a part is find f of minus 3. It's a very simple 1 marks question. F of minus 3 means in that function, in the place of x, substitute with it minus 3 and find the value of the function. Okay, so in the formula or the function f of x, I will substitute x with the minus 3. So 4 into minus 3 plus 1, so it's minus 12 plus 1, it's minus 11. So f of minus 3 is equals to minus 11. F of minus 3 is equals to minus 11. Hopefully you can see here, this is my solution, and here we go. Question 11, and its B part is first, find the g inverse of x. So he wants me to find the inverse of this g function. It has a particular steps involved. So listen carefully. So this is how we do it. We will suppose that g of x is equals to y. Then that means the x is equals to g inverse of y. Here in g of x equals to y, in the place of the gx, I will put this formula. So in the place of g of x, I will write 2x minus 3 equals to y, and then I will make x the subject of the formula. So 2x will be equals to y plus 3, and the x will be equals to y plus 3, the whole thing divided by 2. In the place of x, I can write, you can see here, g inverse of y. So g inverse of y is equals to y plus 3 by 2. Then on both the sides, I will change the variable. In the place of y, I will write x. So the g inverse of x will be equals to x plus 3 divided by 2. This is how this is done. X plus 3 the whole thing divided by 2, x plus 3 whole thing divided by 2 is the right answer, sir. This is the solution. Look at this carefully. If you need more time, just pause the video, take your time. This is how you find the inverse of the g function. Okay, C part. It's a 3 marks question and they want me to find out 2 divided by f of x plus 1 divided by g of x. Give your answer as a single fraction in terms of x in its simplest form. A very good and a simple question, but it has a little trick because he wrote it like this. So 2 divided by f of x plus 1 divided by g of x. And f of x is equal to 4x plus 1 and g of x is 2x minus 3. So now when you write this, their values there, their algebraic expressions here, then it becomes a simple question of two algebraic fractions which you have to add. So both these denominators, they are different from each other. That's why the both of them will come in the LCM. So they both are here. So divide this LCM with this denominator. This will be cancelled. This 2x minus 3 will multiply with this first numerator. Then divide this LCM with this denominator. This 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3 will be cancelled. This 4x plus 1 will multiply with this second numerator. So you see, it will become 4x minus 6 plus 4x plus 1. In the numerator, you have this. In the denominator, just keep these two brackets. So here upstairs, you will have 2x minus 5. And in the downstairs, you will have 4x plus 1 in one bracket. In the other bracket, you have 2x minus 3. So this is 8x minus 5 divided by 4x plus 1 into 2x minus 3. So this is my answer. This is how this is done. Let's check. So this answer is right. So this was question number 11 and its C part. This is how this is done. So if you want more time with this question, question number 11 is C part. Pause the video, take your time with this. So my dear students, today we have done October-November 2023 DMAS 402422 paper. This paper 2 was from the zone 2. In this video, in this single video, I have represented you the solution of all of this paper. I have tried to do my best, best to my knowledge, best to my abilities. I have tried to explain you the concepts. I have tried to, or I have also tried to write those answers to make the things easy for you. I hope that this video will be very helpful to you. If you think that this video is helpful to you and you think that this video can help your friends, your class fellows, your junior students, your teachers, please share the link of this video with your loved ones who are in Cambridge and preparing for this subject. Also share the link of this video onto your Facebook, onto your Twitter, onto your Instagram, onto your TikTok, on your WhatsApp groups, because when you do this, this helps me to promote my channel. And also don't forget to like this video. Please also subscribe to my channel. I think this is a great blessing for me that I can make these videos which can touch the life of so many students around the world, which can make the life of so many students around the globe a little easier for them, easier for their parents, easier for their teachers. Thank you very much. Have a good day. God bless you all.